Fuck you. God damn it. This fucking sucks. Cocksuckers. Hopefully somebody else goes live tonight during our time too, because fuck you people. I'm fucking heated. So it's gonna be old school. It's bullshit. Community and fucking going on at the same time. Fuck off, cunts. Hello, YouTube fuckers. Steve, Vinny, Dave. IRP 121. I giving credit where it's due. Again, this will be a treat too because fuckers don't want to do that shit. You want to, unless it's a big channel like jerk off Jeff Wilson or fucking stupid home ex Santiago fucking Percocet fuckheads. Fuck off. You want to fucking lick their fucking dingleberry assholes and you don't give credit to anybody else. Cocksuckers. Motherfuckers. God, it just. Fuck.
It's good to see you. Good to see you too, Dave.
Card collector, he couldn't even fucking get into a goddamn casino. He looks like he's 8.
Obviously, you got some people concerned.
That's all right. That's okay.
Dave's a little fired up. And I'm glad it's him instead of me, because I've had a day from hell. So this could get interesting, depending on how the show progresses. This may be one of the shortest shows we have.
Could be.
Because it's one thing for Dave to go on a tirade. If you have both of us go on a tirade, hell, Vinny may even freaking chime in and freaking break the golden rule for all we know.
Pretty freaking close.
See
pretty
what I mean?
Freaking close.
So, for some people, not all. Poor Vinny, of course, got stuck working yesterday. But for some of us, we had a 3-day weekend. Thinking all would be well. You work in retail, Dave. Sorry, no offense. Thinking, hey, 3-day weekend. Today should be okay. Yeah, not so much. I'm usually pretty professional, I guess is the right PC terminology or nomenclature, I should say. I had a guy. So, long story short, too late. Yes, I know. And I probably need to drink more than 2 beers. I probably need to drink more than 2 beers tonight too. So we're trying to bring on one of our partners on one of our tools. I am over all of North America repair services and have been for some time. Not that that means anything to anybody, but I'm trying to give you some sort of context here. We're a team of 2. Me being one of those 2 people. So there's me and I have 1 employee. Now I do have some support with another team, but that's beside the point. Anyways, big partner, trying to bring him on one of the tools. There are restrictions and a bunch of stuff specific for this partner. IT folks, this was supposed to be delivered to us on Friday for testing. We get an email like at 2:00 in the afternoon. Mind you, the IT folks are across the pond. So it's late for them, but still. Okay, this is deployed on staging. We need it tested by Tuesday in order for it to go live on Thursday. Huh? Okay. I have some time late in the day. Not a problem, right? Go in to try and do my first test. Nothing but fucking errors. So I kick it back. Get a response on Monday. Mind you, Monday is a holiday. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What do? I log in later in the afternoon. They say it was fixed. I go in and try and conduct the same fucking test. It failed. Send an email. Hey guys, still got problems. The main IT person who's overseeing all the configuration changes and everything responds back. Hi, Cret. Well, for those who know or don't know, that's my last name. That's your first fucking mistake. Don't address me by my last name unless there's a Mr. in front of it. It's working for me. Okay, whatever. So I go try it again. It still fails. I get another response. Hi, Cret. It's working for me. I replied to him, and I was not so pleasant. Hi, so-and-so. Do not refer to me by my last name. It's extremely rude and unprofessional. Send. And then, the nice guy that I am, I waited a few hours after I'd cooled my jets a little bit, and I sent an apology. Trying to be the bigger guy because he's the IT resource. I need him to do the shit that I need him to do. Probably don't want to freaking piss him off too, although he already pissed me off. So I apologized. That's when I got a response in which he apologized as well. It's like, okay, great. Bygones can be bygones. Let's proceed. Now fix my fucking shit so I can test it and try and get this thing rolling. I didn't say that, but it's like, I'm pretty easygoing. I really am. I can deal with a lot of shit. I've got broad shoulders. I don't care where you are in this world. There is one thing that you do not do, especially to me. You do not address me by my last name. I don't give a shit how your email is set up. And if that's how it reads on your side, you know, Outlook has this great fucking thing. It's like a widget built into it. You start typing a salutation, it usually pulls the first name. You don't have to even type it. It automatically pulls it in with the simple tab. It fills it in for you. But do not address me by my last name. I think that is one of my biggest pet peeves ever in the business world. To have people address me by my last name. It's not difficult. I understand there's weird and different and unusual first names. I live in the United States. Where in the world would you ever think that Cret would be like a first name? I mean, does that even sound like a first name? Really? In all fairness, does it? Of course, I'll give the guy credit. He was working late. He's under a lot of pressure too because he's the main project owner for this and dealing with a bunch of crap to try and get this up and going. I probably should have been more understanding, but I was at my wit's end when that second email came through and I needed to take my frustration out on somebody. And no, Eric, this is not Tourette's. This is straight, legitimate bitching, complaining, and dropping any and all profanity that we can. This should have been called the profanity laced episode. We have no fucking topic.
What's bitching? Fucking bitch.
So Lou, I get that. I get that. But this is not a military guy. And we're not the military.
Mm-hmm.
So I know old habits are hard to break. And I deal with that with another guy who's over our distribution center in Arizona. He's a Marine. And all he does after every sentence, sir, 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 sir. And I've had to tell him, I'm like, dude, I get it. one, I'm not your superior, so therefore you shouldn't call me sir. And two, if you overdo it, it starts coming across as disrespectful and condescending. For those people who know you, they've kind of gotten accustomed to it. But for other people who may not, you may start pissing people off. So it's one of those in which I understand certain dynamics and I understand different cultures on different areas of the globe and everything else. But as an organization that is global, we have to take specific training. What's going on, Baz? As it pertains to cultural biases. And within that training, there are two things that are called out specifically. Making sure that you pronounce somebody's first name correctly. And if you don't, ask. And or spelling it correctly in email correspondence. And two, don't freaking talk to somebody and address them by their last name. It's in the damn training. If you want to call me by my last name, I expect to be called Mr. Crit. Then I'd probably tell you, don't do that, because now you're going to make me feel like I'm an old ancient curmudgeon like Dave. I get it. It's a term of respect. I understand a lot of those things. But holy shit. This isn't new when it comes to business etiquette and corresponding and tone and everything else when in fact you're communicating via email. People, Baz, if that's what you want to call me, I haven't told you otherwise. By all means, I don't take offense to it. Just don't call me by my last name. Unless it's Your Highness. Or, I'm kidding. So that's how my day went. And of course, the shit's still fucking broken. And I'm going to be spending most of my time tomorrow trying to freaking get, I think it's 12 test scripts. I can't even get through one. Technically, I've passed 3 of them, quote unquote, because they're simple. But the bulk of the process flow, it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, I can't test any of the other big ones. If I'm trying to process in warranty shit, I expect it when it hits the system to be 0. Not charging repair pricing. It says in warranty, which means it's at 0. How in the fuck is it going into the system at repair pricing? Oh, because the upload tool is ignoring the status. Fix it. Sorry. Soapbox retract. I'm done talking about work. Cheers, Vinny. Anyways. Vinny, how was your day?
Mm-hmm.
Nice, short, simple, sweet. Mm. I think you're avoiding saying too much in the event that you're going to let something slip.
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
I got Rolling Rock beer. It's from Latrobe, Pennsylvania. It's good.
I got Yingling. It's better.
Potato. This might be made out of potatoes. I don't know.
No, no. You can't do the whole potato, tomato thing on that. Not allowed. Of course, then again, maybe we all should have taken Bob's advice in the text message. Bookmark the webpage for the freaking place we're staying at for National to like find your Zen moment or your happy place. Here's the problem. We all know that once we come back, all the bullshit's going to be waiting for us.
That's the worst.
So, and no, Baz, to answer your question, I've been with this company almost 18 years. Yeah, that not new, not no. And I think that's the first time, okay, maybe the second time in my 18-year career that I have like fired off something like that. I've been forceful and direct with stuff, but I even got the freaking like the red flag from Outlook. Check your tone. No, screw you. I'm not checking my tone. I want to send this. Oh, no. no new social retraining. I went I went to college through online means, and I tell you what, something that I think everybody should learn, this is my own personal opinion, is truly understanding tone and written communication. So when you go to college via online, whether it be University of Phoenix, WGU, wherever you go, I would venture to say the policy is about the same everywhere. Be respectful in your responses and understand your audience and maintain your tone. And although it seems like a simple thought, it's actually not easy, because word placement can dictate a lot. No, that's toner. Baz, toner. Okay, maybe not. Depends on the type of printer you're using. But it's interesting. And every class that yes, the dog does have a let me out tone. Hold on, Bubba. Give me just a second. Let me finish my thought here. Fuck, I don't remember my thought. Anyways, go ahead, somebody. As I walk the dog outside and sit here and still chit chat. Hey. And the wife is not here, so of course I need to let the dogs out. So anybody, feel free to jump in here.
Yeah.
At least mine isn't that bad.
I have to give Ghost like a dab of Grandpa's cough medicine or something. Because fuck, he is
Something. He's just, like I said, he's good until I walk up here from work, and then he just. It's okay, Eric.
You should always be scared, Eric. Be afraid. Be very afraid. No menthols here, Baz. No menthols here. You need to go some of those chews.
Yeah.
They work. They work.
Do a little relaxation. But no, it's
Sorry, guys, that light was bright. I just realized that I was holding the freaking laptop where the light was shining in everybody's eyes. I at least could be respectful of my audience.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
Work hasn't been, again, terrible, but it's not summer where it's fucking the worst. Then, because it's literally the town quintuples in size, everybody's on vacation. Nobody has any fucking manners. We're slaves that we need to be bending over backwards. For these dipshits that spend a few $100 or $1,000 and infiltrate the small town up here. My grumpiness is more from basketball. I'm just the constant, as I was talking before we went on. And I know you'll get the, well, it's your kids, they're not going to listen. Well, when your kid asks you, hey, what can I do to be better? Or any advice to do better on the court? And, well, there's been 3 months of basketball. There's been 3 months of fucking advice. So you ask them, are you slow? Because I have told you, Tim McGraw and Nelly, over and over again, what to do. Told these guys earlier. Again, this is going to be a repeat for them. They can tune out. This is a repeat. It's on
don't
it's Seinfeld on TBS.
Don't go as feisty.
I'll try.
Drop it down just a titch. Just a titch.
I'll leave out some words.
Slow your roll. And shut your mouth. No, I'm
kidding. That's a know-your-roll, not slow, but I understand.
You knew where I was going with it, and yes, I know the correct catchphrase.
If you don't, that's after the Mark Henry rock story. It would be it'd be a sad day in Austin, Texas, if you did. And that was the second. And again, nothing's up. I don't have anything up because I mentioned that I got one memory card. It didn't fucking work. The other one that I've got, like the little flash drive dealie, basically full. Trista picked this up for me. This little terabyte deal. Plug it in. I'm like, okay, we're ready to roll. Doesn't show up. Format not supported or something. Or device not supported. So go on YouTube. Look it up. It says after you've reformatted your whatever the fuck that it's called. I'll just say external hard drive. Again, I don't think it is, but for better use of words, that's what it's going to be. And he says, and then you do this, this, and this. And if you haven't done that, check out my previous video. I said, okay, I can check out your previous video because I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. Go to the previous video. It's literally a 2-minute video. You click on like 3 clicks in the fucking, I don't know, the menu. Boom, boom, boom. Reformat. Are you sure you'll lose everything on there? There's nothing on there. Reformat. Done. Oh, what a treat. Let me just get my non-existent computer and fucking do it. So again, I've got, I think, 4 games on there on my phone right now. 1 is compressed and the other 3 aren't. So, I mean, there's basically not like I'm going to be making a litany of videos or lengthy videos and it's not like I can't just jump on StreamYard or whatever. But, very little memory on the old phone right now. But getting back to that was just like icing the cake.
So I got a dumb question for you, Dave.
Not dumb.
I'll consider this a dumb question. Because I hope I know the answer. Because if you don't answer it the right way, I may have to go on another tirade. Please tell me, after you upload videos, you remove them from your phone.
That's why
Okay.
it's not this one, but I've got a different one that's got all the videos on there. I move them from the
Okay.
phone to here. So
Okay.
this thing is full. The other one, this one is two,
Okay.
but the other one is full, or it doesn't have enough room to put a full game on there. So, well, yeah, it's not like, man, why is
I just had to ask. But on the flip side, if you're uploading some of them to YouTube, why are you keeping them also on a flash drive? Because you have them on YouTube. You can download them from YouTube at any point in time.
this might be true, but I never know if that might go
What?
away. I'd rather have this stuff just sort
Okay.
of
Nope,
like
fair.
put it in like a mason jar with all the other memory cards, and like, okay, there's the stuff in case.
Nope, and that's fair. I'm posing the question.
That's what people have said before. Just get rid of them. I'm like, ah. And again, being a collector, that's another thing
I get
too.
it. Yep, I get it. I completely understand. So I'm done. I'll shut up now.
But when she asked me that after the game, because again, the first game they won against it would be Virginia / Eveleth, the new Rockridge cooperative. And they only had 5 girls. So, I mean, they played the whole game. And I'm like, that still, again, you got your first win. That's good. Played a little better. That's good. Next game, you play Mountain Iron, who's number 1 in the state for varsity in single A, class single A, which I'm getting their junior star just signed with North Carolina to play basketball in. So this isn't like going to, like I've said before, Ferris State or Fort Valley State or Utah Tech or somewhere. I mean, you're going to the ACC and you're not going to, I don't know if Wake Forest and women's basketball is any good, but last few years of women's, they've been sort of on the bottom rung as of. So they're not going there. You're going to somewhere that's a pretty prominent program, no matter what you're looking at. And I mean, they trucked them. It was like 50, 56, 17. I don't even know what the score was. I know I sent it. But the physicality, it's just the physicality, and some girls respond to that. Others do not. So she comes up to me after the game saying, well, what should I do better? What advice do you have? So me, being the very level-headed person I am, running for the 2024 YouTube Hall of Fame as a single and as a IRP conglomerate,
Says no one.
I say, why am I wasting my time telling you helpful advice? What have I been doing this whole year?
Nothing, obviously, Dave.
Am I talking into a bag, into a void, a void of a fucking black hole?
Pandora's box. That's the problem.
Must be. And she looked at me and she's just like, didn't know what to say. And I said, I have fucking told you this. Cyndi Lauper. Time after time. I have said this so many times. My vocal cords are going to start straining because I keep repeating my fucking self. And I hate repeating myself. I've told you the 4 things. I'm not using nomenclature that is fucking Bill Gates, Stephen Hawking. Oh, believe me, I'm well aware I'm not expecting her to go to North Carolina. I'm not expecting her to go to UMD, Minnesota Duluth. I'm expecting her to at least show improvement where she is book smart and she can get the stuff with sports. It's happened with softball. And basketball shouldn't be any different. I'm not asking anything I want to ask of myself. Jump for a rebound. Put your arms up to grab said rebound. Don't stand in the middle of the court hoping somebody passes it to you. Move your fucking feet. Flash out. Basketball, it's a pretty common term. You're sort of down low in the post area, maybe a foot off of it. Trouble. Flash, so whoever's got the ball that's usually on the top of the key somewhere or on the wings, they can see you. Because at that age, there's not a lot of tall people. You can't make yourself 7'2" by putting your arm up if you're 6'8". Being all of whatever 5 feet and putting your arm up, you're 5'3".
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, timeout. No offense, Dave. I time. I'm calling a timeout. Technical foul. Sanderson to Orr. Being a smartass. Just for that, there are 14 people in here. I expect to see 14 likes because he is going to pay. Let's see him. I want to start seeing him. Come on, folks. Oh, 15 people. And one of them's us.
Yeah.
Or better yet, hit the thumbs down button. I don't give a shit. But remember, thumbs up, Eric pays. Thumbs down, nothing happens other than we get thumbs down, and we don't care either. You're right. You are sorry. You are 100%. You are sorry. Yep. Anyways. No, Dave was an Olympic mule milk maker. That's where he got all his fame from. Of course, there was 15 people in there. I say that, freaking 3 people leave. How amazing. Oh, so in other words, we suck that bad. Well, this is an unusual situation. We're in rare form this evening. I would say I would apologize, but I'm not going to because we have our moments from time to time. Amen. Baz, I like this right here.
They should. But if they got rid of the counting of dislikes, that obviously they won't do that because that might hurt somebody's feelings too. We can't have that. We need everybody to be coddled in Linus's blanket and swaddled.
You can see them. You can see them as a content creator. You can see them. You have to go into the analytics. But they don't display to the normal person anymore. And I'm disappointed because I'm looking at the YouTube chat and we had a special guest in the chat, it appears, and for some reason he has retracted his statement. I'm disappointed. So Bob Lewis's chair is somewhere hiding out in the background, waiting to grace us with his presence, I'm sure, with a smart-ass comment, which we would expect. Yeah, who knows? Dave, I'm sure, had a few names.
We have a lot of names that people like to call me.
Hey, it is what it is. Oh, on a more positive note, I know it's crazy. I'm trying to let's woosah. Remember our pressure points.
Let me get through. I'll get through. So I sat there and I talked to her for a half hour. And this was after, again, another parent, grandparent was, again, they did better the first game. The second game was pretty much back to square one and bad ball handling, not looking for people. I mean, you're not doing anything that you should be doing basketball wise. And so she says, "Oh, Naomi did real well out there." Well, did a few things okay, and not really a lot. And it's right away the defense of, "You be nice to her, don't yell at her." I said, "Oh," I said, "I'll coach my kid any way I want. I don't yell at her. I give her constructive criticism. Most of the time she listens, but she just doesn't. You can see she's understanding to the best of my ability of watching her, even though I just said she didn't. It's I don't think she has the aggressiveness yet. I will get that. I'll make sure that she needs to get that because, again, if you're battling down low, more so, yeah, it's a struggle to dribble the wooden ball, but I don't concentrate on that. I know that's I worry about the other stuff. I mean, you can still jump and get the wooden ball trickles off the rim.
That
There's
was
no
Dave. Come on, that was funny. Come
there's
on,
no,
give Bash some credit. That was funny.
it is again. It's funny, but it's the overarching subject is not. It's just one of the most frustrating things. I've told my mom that I said I don't know what else I can fucking do. So you sit there and you explain, you drop it to the most rudimentary of levels, and still it's just
So, can I ask the question, Dave?
you can. I don't know if you'll get an answer, but you can.
Oh no, really? Not an answer from you? Said no one. I may not get the answer I want, but I'll get an answer, or the right answer for that matter. So, did they practice at all as a team? Okay. So, exactly what did they practice, and what the hell is the coach doing?
And I've asked
If
them every time. I said, "What are you doing?"
because
Oh, we had to
what?
run plays because half our team doesn't know how to run plays. I said,
How about
"This
you
is what."
focus on the basics of basketball first before you start focusing on freaking plays?
And that was one of the other the parents who has a set of twins on the volleyball team. They didn't play basketball last couple years. She's like, they never when they quit after 10th grade. I never heard him say once about like learning how to box out. And I said, I don't. And I said, I believe it now, but you could have told me 2 years ago. No, that can't be. And I was like, that's pretty much something you better fucking learn the first 2 days. You're dribbling, and again, when you shoot the ball, you have to do something after it's missed because you're not going to make it probably 70% of the time. And I'm like, why wouldn't you, if you're in practice, and I've told Naomi, you pipe up because you guys are wasting time. Oh, I believe me, I I don't want to, but at the same time, when she does ask, she's like, I want to get better. But then it's my problem where I'm expecting her to love sports like I did. We had fucking how many kids around whatever neighborhood we were in. You could play a game of baseball without fucking batting an eye. You could just go over to the baseball field, 3, 4 kids, and within an hour, you'd have 2 teams of like 6, 7 people on there. And that's what I did. When she got her glasses busted, I said, she's sitting there sniveling on the bench. I said, "Why the fuck are you crying?" And you could see like the other players are like looking at me because the filter's broken on me. I said, there's no need to fucking cry. They're glasses. I said, I've told you countless number of times, put your fucking hands up when you're under the hoop to get the rebound. You got elbowed in the fucking head because you didn't have your goddamn elbow or your hands up or your arms up. Guess what? You get fucking nailed.
Now
If
you're hurt, it's one thing.
Oh, she wasn't. That's the thing.
But that's what I'm getting at. If she's hurt, you can understand.
Yeah.
But if it's the fact of, something is,
I won't say embarrassment, but I mean it's just something where it's like you don't know how people are gonna react. Her mother, I don't give a fuck how she reacts. She doesn't do a goddamn thing anyway, but I said, I don't give a fuck. Get new glasses. I'll pay for them. I don't care.
Yeah.
This doesn't matter. What matters is you have to fucking learn that when I'm telling you this shit, it's not because I want to fucking talk. I don't. I want to tell you once. You pretty much figure it out, and if you need a little more refinement, then we'll talk a little more. I don't want to tell you the same basic fucking shit after every game. I shouldn't.
And your other struggle is, and this is something that, some people may understand, some people may not, because they don't fully understand maybe the dynamic. But your ex-wife doesn't do anything as it pertains to expanding on her knowledge or willing to play the game or better or anything. It's one of those in which she's part of the problem. She's like the other parents, the participation thing. Oh, great job, fantastic, you did great. Okay. And I hate to say this, but that's part of the reason we have challenges. This is why the future of our country, okay, at least south of the northern border, we're screwed. Because the whole everybody gets participation, it's great job all the time. Even when my oldest, so Scott, who's 21, played football and basketball, both in middle school and in high school. High school he played just football, but in middle school he played football and basketball. When he was 5, I think he was 5. He played for 2 seasons because, both my wife and I played soccer. We were hoping maybe we'd get a soccer kid, like any parents would. And he played for 2 seasons because that was the minimum you could sign up for. I was an assistant coach, a legit assistant coach, not a freaking armchair quarterback on the sideline being a coach. I was an actual assistant coach through the eyes of Carrollton Farmers Branch Youth Sports or whatever the fuck it was. And things were even different then. Now, we weren't yelling and screaming and everything else like our coaches did playing youth sports. But there was still teachable moments to where you weren't having to basically mind your P's and Q's. You could get a little heated.
Yeah.
And all was well. And granted, you didn't go to the extent of like it was for us playing sports to where some kids these days being raised as pansies, they whine, cry, and snivel anytime somebody said anything bad or raised their voice or whatever. But it's like with youth sports, yes, there is a fine line. There is taking shit too far. There's a lot of variables. But a good coach can still have conversations and give constructive criticism in a way to where it's not rude, disrespectful, upsetting, condescending, to where it can sink in. I attribute this kind of like in the corporate world. You have managers and you have leaders. As far as I'm concerned, managers are worthless because all they do is quote unquote manage people. But a leader enables and empowers their people to be better, to do more, to get better.
Mm-hmm.
And all that is a different approach in the way that you communicate. And it's no different than sports. The coach should be a leader first and foremost, but at the same time, it's all about how you approach the interactions. If you suck, you don't say, hey, guys, you sucked. This is what we did well, but we need to start focusing on this, this, and this. Mm-hmm. It's all about how you interact and how you approach situations. By all means, I'm not trying to say I'm a great coach or make a great coach. I enjoyed the hell out of it. But let me tell you, it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I applaud anybody who coaches, especially youth sports. And I'm not talking middle school, high school sports. Those folks get paid. Not that they get paid a whole lot, but they get paid. But to deal with kids, and let's face it, Naomi started earlier in her youth to where she was playing youth sports. And it's like, part of it also has to do, I think, with the age range of some of the coaches. Maybe that has something to do with it, though, too. I don't know. We don't really do hockey down here, Paul. Of course, then again, he probably would have killed people. That probably would have been part of the problem. For those who want to know, my stepson is just under 6'4", 240. He big boy. Big boy. So he probably would have killed somebody on the ice. Not to mention he couldn't skate for shit, so that wouldn't have even been an option anyways. With his freaking size, like 16 shoe, he probably would have tripped over his skates in the first place. Just putting things into context for everybody. But proceed. Archer.
Yeah, and it's like I've said before with like softball. She wants to go out there and practice. She wants to get better. This isn't me being the cunt parent that needs to fucking live through their goddamn kid. My sports career is, I specifically cite mine saying I could have done a lot more, but I chose not to. I chose to be a lazy fuck. I regret it pretty much every time I see you play. Because I want to fucking go back and say, well, I wish I would have done more. I wish I would have listened to coaches. I wish I would have done this, that, and the other thing and fucking been better. That wouldn't have meant I would have fucking got scholarships either. That wouldn't have meant all that shit. It's just you don't want to fucking, I've said it many a times. And this is, again, Eric, this is where you're right. I've said it many a time where you don't want to look back with regret in that regard. Because you can't, unlike Mr. Peabody and Sherman, you can't fucking turn back time. There is no Cher fucking song going on.
God, if there was, how rich would we all be? Just putting that into perspective.
Win that Powerball and win all that shit, and plus you could go with stocks and Apple computer. Yeah, I'll Nike, sure, why not?
LeBron James RPA for $1 million.
Bitcoin, fucking right away out and sell at the height and be like, okay, that doesn't even matter. That's fucking toilet paper money. But I tell her that because I know she's got more going for her parent-wise. Even though I'm physically fucking fat and limited and I don't have a lot of traits that are great. But guess what? A lot of those other parents, I've said it many a time. We've talked about it in many a text. All they want to do is go there and socialize, Snapchats, fucking whatever, Facebooking. They want to do social hour instead of fucking being there for their kid. I volunteered to help coach. I would do that every time because I wish more people would have done that for me. My dad was one of the guys that was always like the guy yelling from the fucking fence line.
Yeah,
hit it.
that was me during football. Everybody knew me. And I'm not saying that's a good thing.
No, and that's
because I'm that asshole. If Scott screwed up something, what are you doing? How many times have we had to go over this? So I get it.
In that regard, it wasn't bad. I knew if I swung at a bad pitch, you don't need to remind me. But I mean, I hit a double. And he's like, you could have went for 3. Yeah, I could have, but don't worry. I've stolen a few bases. I mean, believe it or not, I wasn't always morbidly obese. I mean, there was a time when I didn't look like fucking Chunk, so, or I'd resemble the fucking nickname. I was a Chunk. That was about like 8th, 9th grade where I really started to find potato chips as the main meal of the day. And the main meal of the day lasted pretty much all day. And then Mellow Yellow is always 52 cents after tax for a 20 ouncer, so you're sitting there. And yeah, it was a struggle of epic first world proportions. So now I've got epic first world proportions around my waist because I've had several epic first world proportions of food consumed. Again, Cyndi Lauper, time after time. So I try to instill that in Naomi, saying you can be very good. I believe in you. You put out the effort. I will always do whatever it takes. No matter if I'm fucking dead tired from work, working 12 hours. I'm up at 3 in the morning. I get done at like 2:30. I run home just to change to catch 2 hours of pitching from you. Tell me what other parents are out here besides like one of my best friends from high school. And he's doing the same thing because he's doing fucking concrete work, and then he comes out and coaches and helps his kids in Little League because he's got 2 boys. And I said, that's why we're close. And you always say, go talk to your friend because we'll talk for an hour if we could. We'll probably talk for like 3-4 hours, but again, we have to wake up in the morning and go back to work. I said, we do this because A, we know we can get results out of kids if they listen. They want to listen.
And they want to work.
Yeah.
And they want to work.
If you want to fucking work, I'm not saying again, doing the Jerry Rice going up and down the stadium in the middle of summer. I can barely get up a fucking flight of stairs to City Hall without like oxygen tanks and like a hover round to help me on my way. But I mean, if you want to actually work and break a sweat and feel muscles you didn't know you had, guess what? I will help you every fucking inch of the way. But I'm not going to do it and put more time and effort into it than you. That's when that happens. Have fun being mediocre. That's I can't do anything more. So it would behoove the community to have that fucking. They just put like a $20 million addition onto the school, which is the biggest fucking waste of money in the world. And I've tried to ask around, like, what can I do to open that gym to get more gym time for kids that aren't playing with like the varsity, that aren't playing with some of the older the parents of some of the varsity guys and gals. They're playing like open gym on Saturday or Sunday night. What can I do? Well, I don't know. Somebody fucking figure it out. Somebody figure something out so on like a Thursday night I can go up there from 5:30 to 8. I'm fucking working all day, but guess what? I'm still willing to put in that time. So people can get it even twice a week. I don't care. Just I don't want there to be excuses. I don't like excuses, and then Naomi wants to go up there and shoot anyway. She just like, I just want to shoot. I just want to go up there and play. Well, what time is there? There isn't any. So
That's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah,
if nobody bothers to know.
No. And I've asked like the secretary at the school. I said, "Can you find out for me?" Well, I think there's a schedule. I said, "I don't give a shit about the schedule. I want a schedule so I can go up there. Put me through whatever protocols you need to, so I can open the fucker up for these kids. Just so they got somewhere to shoot." Because you go to the open gym and it's fucking a small gym, and then you've got like a regular size high school court, and they're playing a full court game. It's like, okay, now you can't play even with 4 little things on the side.
He has a point. You would hope that wouldn't be the case, but then again,
And that's because they got a new entryway there. You go through the first doors, and then there's like a second set of doors after like 25 feet, and then like directly to the right kitty corner from when you walk in, there's the gym. So use this fucking door. You leave me a broom, I will sweep the court. Like the lengths I will go, because nobody else will. It's like, well, I want to go on a fishing trip, or I want to do this. Tristan and I have our camping. We've got the national. We've got other things that will interfere, but at the same time, I believe I have earned some time off. The people that take a lot of time off have not earned. My dipshit boss is going to fucking Africa for safari.
must be nice to have that kind of
That's what I
cash.
said to him. I said, "Wow, you piss moaning about how broke you are. Fuck the fuck off. I hope the apartheid gets over there and fucking lights you up, or the Democratic Republic of Congo or Chad or somebody fucking gets you. God damn it.
Maybe he'll
You're
get
you're not gonna have a hippo on your fucking wall. You're gonna be on somebody's wall.
Maybe he'll get eaten by a lion.
I'm only hoping and praying. That's like the one time I'm praying. Otherworldly entity to fucking make sure it happens.
Of course, normally I wouldn't, wish ill harm on anybody. But in this case, I'm willing to make an exception.
The fucking garage door, one of the loading dock doors broke because the Coke delivery guy is a fucking and he couldn't even be bothered to get up out of the office to take a look at it. I heard that today, and I'm like, I hope I see him tomorrow. I'm like, you can't fucking go back there. What is there fucking lead in your ass? I mean, I want him I want him to get upset, and I'll be like, go fuck off, do something.
He's got turf toe. He's got turf toe.
He'll have more than turf toe. You're lucky if he gets to Africa.
And Eric does have
If he does, the only thing he's gonna find there is Toto. I'm not talking about fucking Wizard of Oz.
Eric does have a point, though. The joys of red tape and everything else when you're dealing with the school district. But it's aggravating, and I'm speaking I'm speaking for Dave. I didn't have any of these issues anytime dealing with my son playing sports, but it's bad when you have the drive and the willingness to want to do more for the kids, and you're getting the runaround because nobody wants to get off their ass and actually try and figure out what the options are. That union or not, or red tape or not, and we wonder who's failing our kids. Oh, yes, I went there.
Yeah. The parents.
Just
Parents fucking suck. Parents are fucking trash. I wish I could have like a big, like a thresher thing and just go around and fucking chomp up parents. Just go and to be like, that's it. You guys are done. You shouldn't have fucking procreated. You people should have been swallowed fucking how many years ago? Now you're creating another generation of dipshits and dumbasses.
on that. Dave is not stating that as a blanket.
No.
I've just clarified, just in case. Just in case
our viewership goes down to 0.
No, just in case people are potentially taking offense, which they shouldn't, because this is coming out of Dave's mouth, and that's just Dave.
Even if you think you should, that should be like, okay, if that's a red flag and you get upset because of that.
This is true. But on the flip side, I've always said, nowadays people should have to fill out an application before they have children. So
a lot more. There should be an IQ test.
So just throwing that out there too. And there are a lot of people out there that invest a lot of time in their kids, and that those are the individuals that still need to be commended, because it's tough to work full time and be a full time parent and be involved in your kids with what they do, whether it be just school related stuff or sports or whatever. It takes a lot of work.
Yeah, it can be band, it can be theater, it can be the arts.
Yeah,
or it's not we're just talking about sports. Your kid finds a niche, something they enjoy, debate, speech, whatever. To support them and do good by them, to say, hey, I'm giving my time. And you don't need to sit there and constantly say it, but say, hey, I got out of work earlier. I did this for you. Not to like, I did this for you, little Johnny. I'm doing this for you because I see something in you that brings like a spark in your eye, or a different trait in your personality, and you can see it shine through in whatever particular activity it is. So some of the people, there's a lot of hockey assholes up here, and they go to the fucking tournaments that's like over in Warrow or Roseau or the cities, because guess what? We get to act like high schoolers again. You put all the kids in one room or 2 rooms that join, and the parents go out and drink and fucking gallivant, and it's like, God fucking, why can't you guys get in a car crash? Why can't it blow up? Seriously, fucking stop being stupid. But that's what they want to do, and then I don't know how they afford it. I truly don't. I really don't. It's because you're doing it like literally all year. I know some of my friends, the one that I said, he's coaching on the team of one of them, and he's over there at the open arena ice or whatever. It's for him. I know it's not something where it's like that. And then his cousin, same way. She's got a son that I think is in 9th grade that plays, I don't know, bantams or whatever it is. And she's not, again, that way either. But I know there's a lot of fucking parents that just want to be part of the cool kids group. And it's like, you fuckers, stop living like you're fucking sophomores in high school. Why is that always something that people go back to? I don't get it. That's something one of my many eternal struggles where I don't know. Not like sophomore year for me was fucking horrendous, but at the same time, I don't want to go out and drink all night, take stupid selfies all the time, and be at a bar. Wow, that's a fucking treat. What a life. Let's go to the bar every fucking weekend. Whoop de fucking do.
Hey, that's my idea of like freaking life, man. Come on.
And then you basically leave your kids to their own devices.
I did that
Literally.
in my 20s.
I never, and see, that's the thing. We went to the bar. I've maybe been to the bar like 10 times total.
I was being facetious, Dave.
I know. I figured you were. Like 10 times total, if that. Why? Because you look at the fucking price of a beer at the bar, and you look at the price of a 12-pack if you want to drink beer. There's a slight difference in the price. $4 or $5 a bottle, depending on the type. Maybe $3 or $2.50, depending on like whatever the special is or a happy hour. Let's say I can get a 12 or bottles for like $14. Why am I going to spend $48 to $60 on 12 of them at the bar? Because I get to be around these awesome fucking losers that have the same stories they did the last week I saw them? No. And where are your kids? Doing God fucking knows what.
Yep. That's why I drink at home. It's nice to go out on occasion. I'm not gonna lie. Every once in a while, change of pace. But even then, it's going out, having a meal, having a drink, maybe two.
With the meal.
But if I'm wanting to hang out and cut up and kid around and converse and have good conversation, I'd rather do it at home, to where if I drink too much, at least from my perspective, I can crawl my ass back across the street.
When do you ever drink too much? Never
I don't.
Dave,
But my point is, in the event that I choose to do so,
the option is there.
I'm not having to get an Uber or call somebody, hey man, can you come get me? I've had too much to drink. No.
That's why you're my DD when we go out.
Yeah, that's why I don't get to enjoy myself as much, because I'm always the designated driver.
Because you're not going to drink that much anyways, man.
Go inside.
Well, I'm going to kiss. Don't forget to blow up my balloons for my birthday. Tori's supposed to tell you.
Good luck with that.
Don't make me blow up my own balloons.
Nobody said anything about balloons. And just because you said it doesn't mean anything. For the record, it's my wife's birthday tomorrow. And like always, I procrastinate. But anyways, should we actually touch on the topic, since we're now an hour in and we probably scared off half the fucking people? as we went on multiple tirades, and poor Vinny just kind of been sitting there
wanting to, but
we all hear it. We all hear it. At least Dave and I hear it. We hear it in the facial expressions and the eye rolls and the looks. So we know exactly where he's going and what he's saying. Okay, almost. But we don't want to break the unwritten rule. And it would kind of defeat the purpose of my lifelong goal of getting you to cuss. Not in the sense of it being a bad day or anything along those lines, just in general. Well, Eric, maybe I would suggest make sure next time you wear Depends in preparation for the show. Because you never know what to expect. Nor do we, for that matter. I'm gonna have to get some treats from the neighbor across the street and send them to you. Maybe that'll help.
Won't work.
Have you tried them?
Someone did hashtag allegedly try one, and he got real messed up, bad, sick, bad.
Well, maybe it was too much for the size dog, because there is like weight things that have to come into play here too.
It was half of what he was supposed to take allegedly, and no.
I almost want to call bullshit, but I'll leave that alone. Especially when you're throwing out the hashtag allegedly and everything else, because it's left open for interpretation. Yes, no, maybe.
So,
And typically you don't just get one. You have to buy a package, which means there should be some evidence of some kind of just. I know it's logical. How dare I think logically? I mean, that's frowned upon. I know. But do you at least feel a little bit better, Dave? I know I feel a little bit better. I could probably still continue, but
I was just saying, we can have one of those record 5-hour ones. I get to keep going.
we're not going there.
No.
Definitely not tonight. If it were any other night, maybe. But as I said early on, today sucked. Tomorrow's going to suck. The rest of the week is probably going to suck. And I know I probably shouldn't be so negative and put it out there in the universe, but I just
Manifest it, dang it. Manifest it.
I just feel it. I just feel it. The only good thing I have on my side is my boss is like, and these are her exact words, and this is why I love my boss. Typically with bosses, you have to be somewhat PC and, maybe not profanity laced. But we have tendencies when we talk about certain things, like that our audience would probably blush, because this is tame. Even with Dave, when he started off, that's tame. When my boss and I like get on a roll, it's bad. It's bad. Not at each other, but when I was talking to her about the whole testing stuff, because she left a little bit early today, and I told her, it's like, hey, enjoy your time. We all deserve it, right? And it was for good reason. I won't go into detail because it's honestly nobody's business as to why she ended up taking part of the day off. But, I told her, I'm like, hey, I will get to it later on today, but, no confidence that I'm going to freaking get anywhere. And she's like, no, that's fair. I'm right there with you. And I told her about the whole, well, it's got to be tested by today for it to go live on Thursday. And she just went off. I don't give a flying fuck what the hell so-and-so says, blah, blah, fucking this. I'm going to freaking have a conversation with freaking Jan, who's her boss. This is a bunch of fucking shit. This didn't get freaking, I mean, she just went off. And I finally, after she was finished, I was like, I'm sorry I brought it up, because, you're about to leave for the day. Let's talk about something else real quick so you can, leave on a good note. I was like, I didn't mean to raise your blood pressure before you were about to leave work and go have a good time. She's like, no, she's like, I'm fine. She's just like, and I mean, I love her. She's awesome. But, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for her when it comes to that, because I don't have to mind my P's and Q's. If I am like 100% just pissed off, I don't have to keep it PG. I don't have to keep it professional. I can literally just say what the hell is on my mind, and all is well. And she can do the same thing with me. And we do it about other people, which we both have a disdain for, which is even more pleasant. Because we have the disdain for the same people usually. So when we get on a roll and we're talking about some of those individuals, it's always fun.
Yeah,
Choice phrases, yeah, always enjoyable.
yeah. I'd say I wish that would happen at the store, but it never does. I just start going off, and the boss is he always wants harmony, but he wants it like under what he would think of as harmony, and I start saying, "You're fucking paying these goddamn R words." I'll be polite, and not use, because when I get heated, it's that thing flies quick, because if you saw some of these, and again, I know it's a bad word to say. I know this. So you can crucify me in Chicago if you want. I don't fucking care.
And just don't say it, and all is well. Most people should know what word you're referring to.
Yeah. Rectum heads. And you see them just, I mean, this one I've seen when I walk by aisles to go, if I've got a bunch of boxes from freight, I'll go past an aisle and I'll see one of them. And he looks like Lord Farquaad from Shrek. And if I'm facing like the shelving, he's literally like a foot away just looking at it, and there's nothing in his hands. He's just looking. Literally just standing there. Go put the shit in the box crusher, push a button, crushes the box as I walk back to the aisle. He's still standing there. So that's like a good minute and a half, because maybe somebody's back there, say, "Hey, what's going on?" I say, "You're paying these people to be here. You're literally burning money like it's 2020 Top Series 1. Literally fucking just pissing money away." I say, "And you're worried about anything I'm fucking doing. You don't even know the goddamn times the orders have to be in. And on which day they have to be in. And you're worried about me working." I said, "Worry about your fucking wrangling of these dipshits, these rectum heads, and fucking have them do something." "Well, I don't want to be mean." I said, "You want to yell at the people that fucking make your store run, but you don't want to fucking yell at these people that should have never been spawned in the first place. Because what? They're going to quit, and what? Then what are they going to do? Come back and try to fucking reapply because they don't have any discernible skills?" Well, explain this to me, because I'm fucking stupid. The people that bust ass for your fucking store that has your fucking dumbass last name on it, and you don't do a fucking thing about it. You don't fucking work any freight. You don't fucking reset the shelf. You don't look for new items. You fucking have no clue where anything's at in the fucking store. But
He spends the money he makes. He's doing something.
We fucking get the staff for all these other fucking dipshit nimrods. Throw a brick at him. If you don't, I will. Well, you can't do that. I can't do that? Do you want to see me do it? Well, you're not going to. I said, "Do you want to fucking put money on this?"
Oops, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit you with this. Prove that I did it accidentally on purpose.
Don't fucking test me. Don't fucking test me. I don't care. I can get a job anywhere. I can get somewhere where they actually give a shit.
That's a
He
It's
had
a-
you.
interesting choice of words there. Animated. That's one way to put it.
That's one piece of nomenclature to describe it.
So while we have roughly 40-ish minutes or so, we can at least somewhat glaze over this topic because this could also get a little heated to a degree. And Dave's in one of his moods, so I would venture to say that that's probably the case. I'm a little heated too. Vinny's been extremely quiet,
So that usually means he's pretty heated.
but on the flip side, that also has to do with probably the annoying dog, which limits his ability to interact as much as what he would prefer or like to, which is unfortunate. Good to know you had a glazed donut. Nice segue, Carlos. No, okay. That wasn't really a segue, but why not use the nomenclature that people have a tendency to overuse and overutilize? So, Dave, I'll let you kind of set the stage at least. Because, like you said in the description of the video, we kind of touched on this a little bit. And it is a pet peeve of ours here and has been for some time. More so for Vinny, because although he, although, nice, well played, sir, well played. Vinny still hate watches some of these.
No, I refuse to. He stole that nomenclature. Not that one in particular. I avoid him like the plague.
Look at my face when you lie to me.
I will, because I don't watch him. I don't.
I wasn't referring to him specifically.
I got
I
you.
watched-
Not,
I
well,
watched
but then I would be lying to you if I considered them all. So I won't lie to you.
I watched 1 minute of his the other day when he had Cancelleri on there. MC Sports Cards. Because I've golfed with him before. He was at Sausage Fest 2016. I know him adequately well. So I went on there. I said, I'm going to see what Mike's up to. Because, again, I've had no qualms with him. I think Michael Phillips had said, I remember when he's coming to the fucking shows in Ryan's at RBI Crew, and he had fucking dick for cards. And you see what he's got now. And I said, okay, he's doing something right. Because he's got some absolute museum pieces. So I went in there and I said, hey, Mike, how's it going? How's your golf game doing? And then Floating Head, Amish Dave, I haven't seen you in ages. I fucking wonder why.
You watch the show every week for ideas, you prick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
At least use fucking lube. Don't put a cactus up my ass and call it a friend. Fuck.
That was an interesting choice of words.
They usually are.
This is true. This is true. This is 100% true. Dare I say it? Hashtag facts.
Hashtag not allegedly.
But as I was stating earlier, Vinny still hate watches some of these. So this gets a rise out of Vinny frequently. Anytime he stumbles across something, especially within a matter of, we'll say 24 to 72 hours after a show airs over a specific topic. And lo and behold, somebody else is talking about the same thing. Dave used to be really bad about it too. And finally, I think Dave came to his senses for the most part.
There's one particular person I'll watch once in a great while, and then Vinny and I will go back and forth for like 45 minutes and just swear, just fucking swear. But again, that I can't watch it all the time because it's the same fucking bullshit. Guess what, Steve? Imagine if we were on a Wednesday night instead of a Tuesday night. How cool would that be? Just imagine that.
You know, Dave,
Our
I couldn't
setup would
imagine
have to
that
be
because, yeah, that's where I was going to go. You know, it'd be we'd have to figure out what the setup would look like on that to make a difference. You know. But anyways,
I wish they used the original setup.
It would be much better.
Just
sorry, that's fucking random. Oh, it's broken.
No, it's into the I can't even think
Power
of it.
strip.
Yes, I was gonna say the electric bar. That's what I was gonna say.
A surge protector.
There, one of those two friends. So,
but anyways, I'll go back yet again. This subject is near and dear to our hearts to a degree. We collectively, as in the three of us and an unnamed individual, Bob, in our group text message, talk about this or used to talk about this more frequently.
Lewis.
But that's too soon. You did it too soon. But we would talk about it. Either Vinny or Dave would bring it up. Bob would sometimes bring it up if he stumbled across something. Me, I never wasted my time because I'd rather watch paint dry. And I'm not going to give it.
Why are you guys watching that?
Well,
stop watching it.
I get the need to hate watch. I mean, I do to a degree, but at what point is it too much to where you get so pissed off, aggravated, agitated? To me, it's like you're in that situation. You're letting those people win because you're trying to understand and fathom how it's acceptable, and you're never going to grasp it because you aren't those type of people. So why try and figure it out? But anyways, Lewis.
Because of the psychological aspect, and that all of us are in that regard where that's something I don't want to say enjoy, but that's something that it turns not our crank, but it sits there and you sit there and think about it and you're like, how can this fucking be?
Yeah, but like I said, you
I
will never, ever,
I know,
ever figure it out.
That's it. You can say that, but it doesn't matter because you're still gonna sit there and like, how are fucking people so blind to this stupidity?
What you can't fix stupid.
Believe me, I know this.
And I'm not saying anything that neither one of you don't grasp and understand.
You're not telling any tales out of school.
Amen. But at the same time, it's let's face it. We are I want to say we are good-hearted people for the most part. We do our best to treat people with respect if it's deserving. So, in that sense, if we do happen to hear something, and normally anytime we quote anything, it's typically off of Carlos's show. Most of us don't watch a lot of the other stuff. But on occasion, we may pick up something by watching somebody's video or whatever. But we always do our damnedest to make sure that we give credit where we heard it from.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not in a vacuum. We can respect other people's opinions or ideas or thoughts as it pertains to certain topics. Whether it be if they heard us talking about it and decided to go on their own sort of tangent and don't give us credit, we'll still give them credit. But as you alluded to, and exactly what the title says, why is it so hard? Why does it have to be so difficult? Because and Dave, I know Dave will go down this rabbit hole, so I'm going to try and save face for everybody because it could be a 10, 15-minute tirade, and I'm trying to avoid it. When we wrote papers in school, we had to cite our sources. This is technically no different.
Yeah.
It's no different when Carlos brought up the whole concept of hashtag scholarship. Cite your sources and don't give some freaking random, well, because I read it on Wikipedia. Well, for anybody with half a brain knows that Wikipedia is actually based on people, other people, random people can add shit to Wikipedia, which means I could go out and create a Wikipedia entry for Dave Archer saying that he's the smartest man that ever graced the face of the earth and everybody should go worship him. Not that I would, but put that into perspective. Anybody can add anything to a Wikipedia page. That's why it's free. So why in that sense is it so hard for other people to just say, hey, you know, I happen to be listening to the IRP. They were talking about this. I thought it was an interesting topic. I want to talk about it and think about it from my perspective. You know, these are my thoughts. Everything that we talk about for the most part is opinion.
Yeah.
Everybody has one. There's not a right or wrong one. And that's okay. As we've said before, we don't always agree on the same shit. That's okay. It creates good conversation. That's what this is, conversation. You have to have varying opinions to a degree to have good conversation. If you didn't, it's always going to be, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. You know what? That's a great point. That's a great point. Wow, riveting. Anyways, Dave, Vinny, care to add? Don't everybody speak at once.
It's tiresome. And when we'd hate watch before, it was really tiresome. It's like something we just talked about like a couple weeks prior, then somebody puts out a placeholder for their whatever they're doing, whatever projects they're working on. And all of a sudden it's like literally, and again, people can talk about this stuff and it's not like we're owning a subject. Except chicken sandwiches. Everybody else can go fucking die. You fucking cunts. Because somebody else had that on one of their fucking things, and I just about lost my shit. But just it's like, especially when you have some of these stupid channels like fucking Team Schmedium and all his fucking extracurricular proclivities that he fucking gets in trouble with or whatever schemes he's pulling this week. And every time you'd see, and again, I haven't watched his shit in fucking forever. Because that's when I could just fucking destroy my TV. I mean, people in their Super Bowl bullshit. No, I would fucking go through the wall of the fucking house with the TV because that fucker's so dumb and so full of fucking shit. Go make me some donuts. fuckhead. When you talk about the community or card community, whatever you want to fucking talk about, and I've heard others too with their like the bigger channels in the Hall of Fame go back to that discussion. They should be in there because of this, that, and the other thing. It's like, then put the notator on that first. That it's about people that actually fucking give a shit about other people in some way, shape, form, or fashion, other than care packages and send me a just because. I'll leave my address down here and you can send me something. Fuck off. But people send that fucking dipshit that shit, and he's all about community, but he won't interview anybody but Brad from the old school at National. I'm sure a lot of other people have stepped up. Where am I? I'll be there this year. Let's see if we can have a pack war and pull some mojo on video. When you talk about all that shit, and then it's their clique of big timers, and then they basically recycle the same shit, and then some of our shit gets thrown in there. And you don't mention a peep about us. You don't need to sit there and fucking plug us. Just say, hey, this is where we heard it. Went back, listened. Okay, it was something we're going to talk about now, but this is doesn't matter where it's from. Be from my good friend Baseball Collector. Be from the fucking Bench Clear. Be from Carlos. Be from us. Be from Zombie. Be from anyone. Be from Jimmy Guns, Lou Rock, and over Pepino Man. Good Cesar. If you heard something somewhere that you're like, man, that's something that you sort of maybe have thought about and not really put any thought to it, and then you hear somebody else think or give their thoughts on what it is, it's like, you know what? I might have a little discussion about this because this really like jostled some knowledge up there. Fucking give
scholarship.
Don't pretend to be the hashtag ombudsman of the fucking community when you're just ripping off and plagiarizing other people.
That's not content. That's drama.
Yeah. Hey, Daniel, you dip? Fucking stupid Jay. Dipshit. That's right, Ghost.
Yeah, you tell him, Ghost. Yeah. Yeah. You freaking go off. Go off for Vinny. Yep, there you go. Yep, keep going. Let him have it. Yeah. Some more.
Okay.
I swear.
That's what I thought.
Just go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
It just puzzles me. Because and again, it's not like we're fucking reinventing the wheel. We've said that. But you'll see something here in a couple, 3 weeks. Somebody else, somewhere else, says something that we fucking went ad nauseum about. And this wasn't taped like a month before we were on. Again, we're not sitting there and saying, hey, get those YouTube patches fucking ready, because again, we're laying the groundwork for every fucking topic of every podcast or every fucking video or Instagram post out there. We're not. Believe it or not, we aren't. But if you hear something from us through one of our three mouths or Robert when he's on here, or crypto grifter or somebody
or
that's
Carlos or anybody else,
anyone else, give them fucking credit, you fucking leeches.
well,
Don't sit there and have a fucking 4-hour fucking live stream about fucking He-Man collectibles and the auctions are ending.
I thought that one was only under 2 hours, but
Well, one of them recently was a fucking god awful amount of time.
here's, to me, that the root of the issue is, okay, well, this is twofold. First and foremost, it takes a matter of 2 seconds to say where you heard something from. Okay, maybe not 2 seconds, maybe 10 seconds, but in all honesty, it doesn't take a whole lot of time.
Half a minute at the most.
Unless you want to go on a freaking diatribe and bitch, moan, groan, and complain and, badmouth whoever you're getting the information from.
Then you're stealing our fucking shit. So.
And Carlos, that is facts right there. But it's the biggest thing I don't understand. What are people thinking at that point in time to sit there and know that they've taken an idea or a conversation component from here or from Filmington or from Carlos or from Big Scott or, Lou when he's done some live stream. Bowman 53. There's a ton of people out there that do live streams. Legends of the Dugout, I think, also does one from time to time. There are a ton. Do I watch them all? Absolutely not. I ain't got time for that shit. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just there is so much stuff out there. It is extremely difficult to watch it all. So why is it so difficult? Yes, it says in the title of the placeholder. Why is it so hard? Why do you want to set the precedent of discussing a topic that somebody else has brought up to where it is your own? Now, on occasion, it is always the possibility that it may be legit. They don't know anything about us. They've never watched us. They've never watched Big Scott. They've never watched Bowman 53, Lou, Carlos, a bunch of others. It is possible. It is possible. And there are times in which and this is not recently, but I've told Vinny in the past, it's like, maybe not. It's left open for interpretation. Could be, possibly. But to me, it also is dependent on the source. Like, we're pretty certain with certain individuals, we know are watching either in the background and just kind of hanging out there watching, or they watch it on the replay, which, by all means, up the views. I don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Watch it multiple times. I don't care. But don't make it seem like you're a creative genius to where, and I've said this and I will continue to say it, Dave is the creative mind on the topics. Vinny's given some ideas and we've used some of them. I hadn't come up with shit. I'm just here having the conversation. And I can admit that. And I'm okay with that. But at the same time, I don't understand why anybody would feel like they're so self-absorbed to where they have to feel as though they came to the table with the idea. Because, especially from our perspective, we talk about some very obscure subjects in the larger scope of the collecting environment or collecting landscape. And those are the ones that it's like, huh? We've watched a lot of shit from a lot of people, and not once have we ever heard anybody freaking talk about this. Why all of a sudden are you talking about this?
Discerning your collection from your inventory, because that's been said so many times by so many individuals in this community. Exactly, Ghost.
Well, and that's, in all fairness, and this is, I'm not correcting you by any stretch of the imagination, Benny. There could be other obscure channels that may have said it at some point. It's always possible. But it's very hard to argue that being the case when we have a conversation on a Tuesday night, it gets uploaded on a Tuesday, and by the next day, it's almost like everybody's using that set of choice phrase words. Is it coincidence? Could be. But depending on the source, I'm willing to, it's one of those in which it's like, it's extremely difficult to prove. And there are times in which I think it is a coincidence. But there are some in which it's like, we know you're fucking watching somewhere. You've watched it. You've heard it. You've heard us say it on here or maybe on Carlos's show. Carlos gets quite a larger audience than we do. Part of that, of course, as we know, because we go on Tuesday, which, that's just how it works. But anytime we bring something to the table that we've heard somewhere else, we always claim where we got it from. Or we do our best to always claim where we got it from. And if we don't say it at that point in time, we correct ourselves future show. So, but you get where I'm going. Carlos, you know that there are times in which people have stolen, and I'm going to use the term stolen, some of your, I won't call them topics, but your approach or your opinions on certain situations or happenings going on in the hobby. You have a different, I'm trying to find the right word. You have a different thought process, and you come to the table with alternating tidbits of information, requiring people to think. Not that you're trying to say this is the way you think, but you give alternatives to a certain dynamic or situation. Or situation, which requires people to think. And because some of them, this is going to sound bad, and I don't mean this bad, some of them could be construed as far-fetched, but plausible. And other people out and just randomly can pull the same shit. I highly doubt it. And I'm focusing on the true community concept of those of us who are part of the community, who are involved in the community, who interact with the community as people who are being pilfered for their information. It's unfortunate. And as I said, it's extremely difficult to prove.
Mm-hmm.
But, when things become like if it happens more than a couple times, it's beyond coincidence. At least in my opinion. Yes, we know this. So it's aggravating. It's more aggravation for me because in this we're not looking for stardom. I know Carlos isn't looking for stardom. We know Alex isn't looking for stardom. You know, we do this because it's fun and enjoyable. It's a hangout. And when people just decide to come in and pilfer it and basically call it their own or that they thought about it, it's extremely aggravating to say the least. And I'm speaking for myself specifically. I'm not speaking for anybody else.
And you see it more on Instagram. Like if someone say, "Oh, so and so just showed this off," I figured I'd show it off too. It's like you can go on there and it's widely accepted, widely done that, hey, this is the person that showed off this, let's say, notable numbers or notable nameplates. Somebody else shows it, tags that person. Well, hey, I saw it from this guy. So you might not get all the people in the post tagged or whatever, but it's like, hey, I saw 2 or 3 people here. This is what they got going on. I don't know how fucking hard it is for folks on here to do that. When again, we've said it before. Anything you had to do in high school, anything you did in college, you wrote a report. Steve said it. It's not fucking lies. You had to notate your fucking sources. It just it's Trudy. It's the facts of life. You fucking had to do it. And on here it seems like fuck it, that'll that'll take the bloom off of our creative rose, they think. If I give credit to someone else and maybe they'll go watch them. I don't know what the thought process is. That's why the hate watching comes into play, because it's like it's on so many levels of the narcissism and just the baby dick syndrome. You just sit there and you wonder, why can't you just say, hey, guys over here, Tuesday night, you want to sit there and promote that you're a community member, that the community means something to you. The card community is something that you value and respect and want to see grow, but yet you can't take 30 seconds out of an hour and a half show, podcast, whatever, and say, hey, this is where the subject here got a sort of like a brainstorm, the cattle prod, it sort of woke me up over here, and this is what we're going to talk about now, and put it over here. Enter name of whoever, give them some credits. Again, say, hey, they're on Tuesday nights, they're on Friday nights. Even if somehow, shape, form, or fashion, you saw it Saturday night and there's something that was brand new to you at 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 Eastern. If you saw it there, doesn't matter where you saw it. I know I have said stuff that I've seen on Mike's channel before, and I've given him credit. As much as it pains me. because the waters of the clear, calm, purifying waters of Lake Superior, if I get too close, may not forgive me for those kind words, for notating that source. They may say, fuck you, Amish Dave. Fuck you. Now you're part of our eternal, everlasting community. You will reside with the Edmund Fitzgerald. I'll say, hey man, I'm on the North Shore. That was down by Michigan. That's in the UP, man. I can't go there. Good luck. So it's annoying. It's annoying that grown men, grown women, mostly grown men, can't fucking say, hey, found this here, no matter what it is. But so don't be that douchebag. Or I think sports card radio's assholes. Wait till you see the fucking I don't say the red wave or the blue wave, but watch like the brown noise that I emit as we roll through the Rosemont Horizon Center and spread our good graces upon the masses. All I'll say is have a nose plug. So we're gonna be eating some good food. And I don't care who's around. I'll be dollar box diving and ooh. There's a rumble. Ooh. Do a little left cheek lift. And I hope it sounds like somebody's fucking got like a muffler that's got 2 holes in it.
Note to self: look out for crop dusting by Dave.
Yeah, you won't have to look out. You'll go, what the fuck was that? You do that. Head the other way. Head around the table and just
Dave, listen.
Take a video because you're gonna see people.
Listen. Just fair warn me. That's all I ask. So I can get the hell out of Dodge before it happens. Just fair warn me.
I'll try to have like the Goldberg. If you hear somebody yelling, "You're next!" Fucking run. But make sure you have the camera going because I want to see the reaction.
We need a safe word or something to where if it's used, we know exactly what it means and we're all good. Okay, maybe not all good, but good enough to where we can walk away and still catch the mass exodus. Of course, Dave just gave away his trade secret, but
you can withstand the fog. More power to you.
Note to self: wear a mask with nose plug.
Wear hazmat boot.
Unfortunately, I'm fresh out of those. My hazmat suit's at the cleaners, and I won't get it back in time.
Wear swim goggles. the mouthpiece thing.
Ay.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. That'll be one of the, as we get close, that'll be sort of the, I don't want to give topics away because it usually happens anyway, but there'll be something interesting to discuss about.
Well, you don't want to get anybody else to freaking jump on it before we get a chance to talk about it, so they can steal it.
And they will anyway, because that's what they do.
Yeah, well, heaven forbid anybody be creative or think outside the box.
Pandora's box, even.
Yep, there it is again. So for those who have Pandora's box on their bingo card, you got it again.
Yeah, if you missed it the first time.
There it is again.
Do a little bookending.
Baz is getting awfully creative here. But here's the problem, Baz. You should have probably been more specific. Take sheets of unused toilet paper.
Yeah, because you could take.
You got to be specific.
You could have brown already on there.
You got to be specific with this group. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You have to be specific. And you hanging out with Carlos, you ought to know, because Carlos likes to rephrase a lot of things. So I saved you some time, Carlos, on this one. And we're actually going to end on a hockey card? Really? That's the local guy.
He just signed a fucking 8-year deal to stick around LA, or at least for a chunk of it. So
that's the local kid, right?
he's from Fridley, which is down by the cities, but went to UMD. So I'm like, well, you know what? I love me some Nick Robertson, but his stuff is still stupid, even though he's out for the year.
That's a nice looking patch.
35, but I've picked up a few. It's like, you know what? I might, and again, defenseman, so there's no hobby implications of dire excitement. And then this one.
Until he goes off or something.
Well, yeah, but the red version of the be a player, but I know you don't like him, but jersey number, and this was like a cheap buy it now. So my guys, I looked at that, I'm like, you know what?
I didn't say I didn't like them.
Well, again, this is something you don't like actively. If you see him,
it's
like Michael.
Added. Yeah, it's an added bonus. I don't seek them.
Unlike Phillips, which he loves those.
Yes, he seeks them out.
And if I look for Josh Johnson, if I see 55, I will spend significantly more because that's just me. I'd spend 155, 100, whatever the number may be. It's if I need it.
It's not always a need with you. You want it. You want it. You want it. You want it. You want it.
I don't want anyone else to have it. They will not #appreciate it.
Well, I normally don't. I'll tell this and we can wrap it up. Normally, I don't add stuff to the watch list for cards that I already have, unless it's an oversight.
Mm-hmm.
But I typically, before I bid on anything, I kind of do a quick double check of the checklist just to make sure. But I can go ahead and say this because the guy ended up pulling the listing because it got no love, I should say. We want to use that terminology, I guess. But it was an auction, and the title could have used some help, which would have allowed the opportunity to get a little bit more love. It's not that it was listed wrong. It was just kind of listed bad. But it was a 6-day auction, and he ended it, I think, with a little over 2 days left because it had no bids. One watcher, which was me, because I was going to be that asshole. You know, Dave, you always talk about, buying stuff when stuff is super cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not going to let somebody else win something this cheap.
No.
And that was going to be one of those situations. And if it wasn't me, since Dave does have an appreciation for Terrell Davis, he's not opposed to getting Terrell Davis stuff from time to time for certain things. It would have been sent to Dave. Been like, hey, Dave, yeah, you may want to win this. But it was a 97 Skybox Impact Rave.
Okay.
Starting bid at 99 cents. Shipping was like $4 or whatever. 6-day auction, no bids, one watcher, and it was me. And he finally pulled the auction down. I'm like, damn it. Not that I wanted another one, but like I said, that would have been one of those situations where it's like, hey, Dave, FYI. And that probably would have been something you would have gone after, just because it is a rave. Not as rare as rubies, but still, number to 150.
Yeah, they're not popping up every week.
So, and of course, it's a Hall of Fame. And, Dave does a lot of that from a trade bait perspective for some of that stuff, or he keeps it for PC. Me, it would have been literally for like trade bait potential. But it was like, normally it's not anything that I do. But for something like that, yes, please. And I seriously was hoping that he was just going to let it ride. Now, who's to say somebody didn't catch a view of it, with a day left or a few hours left or whatever and put a bid on there. But even then, usually that's a good indication that it's going to go super cheap.
Mm-hmm.
It's no different than, and I'll show this real quick, and then of course we can wrap it up. Talking to Michael, this film not yet rated, asking about a specific card. And even though I'm trying to limit stuff, I sure the hell wasn't going to let this go for too cheap. So this is 2022 impeccable Super Bowl champion autographs. It's yellow printing plate on card. Well, I should say on plate. But it's one of those in which, like, some of the autographs to 49 and 25 and stuff like that were selling for, anywhere between 80 and 115 bucks, I think. I got this for 63. Do you think I'm going to let somebody snag this before I take a chance at it for that cheap?
Yeah, that. Even if it's not one, like we've said, it necessarily is the top of the list, even a top 100 card. Even if the list is fictitious and it's sort of in your mind of like, this is. I know where amongst the pecking order this would be. It's like that. No, you fucking can't let it go.
Well, it does check a box technically. I do like to have at least a 101 from every year.
Yeah,
101s exist. And being 2022, technically I don't need anything more from 2022 if I choose not to get anything, because I've already got a 101. So, but that's not the case. I do have I do have something else coming in. Same set. Coming from a tuber that I acquired through a tuber.
an old school one.
If you watch the video, you know who it is.
Oh, I did, because if he lives in Florida, especially if he's down there. Because that was one I, believe it or not, inquired about as well.
When did you inquire? Just curious.
Probably an hour after I saw the video posted.
Oh, see, I waited.
But I didn't get back to him, which I will apologize for that, because that's the price is a certain, and again, fair price, but at the same time,
Look, in all honesty, and if Paul's still watching, it's fine. A little bit higher than what I expected. Truth be told, because I've seen, because I watch them, so I know what the average price point is based on the 49 and the 25 and the 10. But I also don't know what he has into it, which I have to take that into consideration, which I completely understand. But I also didn't realize it was jersey number. So I do, in fact, have a jersey number coming in.
and that's why as soon as I saw, because he just showed it, and I saw, I don't know if it was on the front or the back. Again, I think front.
It's on the front, but I didn't notice it as I was watching it.
Right away, I did, because I'm like, fuck. Like, this could be something where, again, price is right in my head, because I'm always looking at Terrell Davis stuff just to see what's out there. So again, it's out of that realm of the guys, and
yes, Paul. I've taken that. I took that under consideration because I know he got it in a small lot or whatever. And look, I get it. People have to make money. It's a business. It's his business.
Yeah.
And it's not like I balked at it. It's not like I'm like, dude, Paul, you've lost your fucking mind. I inquired about 2 cards, one the TD, and I asked about the Ricky Williams from Immaculate, because people may or may not know I do have a side University of Texas collection for those who were drafted into the NFL. And those I actually prefer in college uni.
Yep.
Because if it's a University of Texas ex-player, I prefer it in their University of Texas.
Like your Kwame Cavell PC.
My what?
Kwame Cavell, the old receiver for the Buffalo Bills. I think in '99. I don't think he was a draft pick. I think he went undrafted, but he was supposed to be somebody of use down there in the old UT, and really didn't, shockingly, do much.
Yeah, well, obviously he's not anybody who rings a bell with me, but and most of the stuff that, let's face it, it's lower tier rookies. I do have a Colt McCoy. I do have a Ricky Williams already, but it's immaculate. It's a cool card. I think numbered to like 27 or 17 or something. Beautiful card, on card. So of course I inquired about both.
Mm-hmm.
And the price point wasn't bad for both at all. But it's one of those in which I'm thinking about national, and it's like, if I'm going to buy something from him, it's definitely going to be the TD.
Yep.
And he came down even a little bit more on the TD, and we made the deal. And like I said, it wasn't balking at the price. It's just one of those in which it was higher than I anticipated, but taking into consideration the jersey number. And for Terrell Davis, nowadays, the jersey number means a hell of a lot more than what it used to. More so from a price point perspective. And to be honest, I didn't want anybody else to buy it.
Yeah.
Because it would have been in a showcase at an upcoming show. And I'm happy. I'm pleased with the purchase. So take that for what it's worth. I'm just being 100% honest in the whole aspect of the transaction. But it's in transit. It has been acquired. It has been purchased. And I didn't sit there and do all this and be like, do I really want to do this? Should I counter? No. It's one of those in which quick, at the end of the day, it was quick, painless, and simple. And I think he dropped it a little bit because maybe he was thinking I was hesitant. I don't know. But Paul's easy to deal with.
Yeah.
So for anybody who follows Smith's Sports Cards on Instagram or still PDAZ on YouTube right now, last I checked, he's pretty easy. He'll give you the price. You know, it's one of those in which if you have to finagle, you have to finagle. Either you come to an agreement or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's how shit works. But knowing it's one of those in which that is his business, that's how he makes a living, I always take that in consideration. If it wasn't his business, I would have probably finagled. But that's his business. And I know he acquired those through a purchase and therefore has to make money. So for anybody out there, to a degree, you also have to take that into consideration when talking to a dealer. You know, we all talk about comps and everything else, and yes, that has to be taken into consideration. But one caveat to that is you can't base comps off of a jersey number because you technically have nothing to go off of.
No.
So.
Well, I'm glad it got to the right collector.
Yep. And he had it packaged up and ready to go Sunday. And I even told him, I was like, hey, dude, you got an extra day. It's President's Day on Monday. It's not like it's going to go anywhere. And he still sent me tracking on Sunday.
And the other reason I didn't jump on that is the one card went off last week, the dual auto, and then the one I don't know if I showed you or Michael or the group, I don't remember, but it was a booklet that went for over 100.
It wasn't the group.
And I don't know if the buyer relisted or listed it under his after purchasing it, relisted it. Took a significant L on it. Again, for our purposes, this isn't like the dick sucking face in the placeholder and you're taking like a $3,000 loss. It's on a $100 card, you take a $70 loss. So, sort of holding out funds for that, and I wanted that card to get to you, but I also want a few others that I think may possibly be better in your collection, in my mind. Again, not your mind possibly, but
well, you shouldn't be shopping for me anyways.
You don't need to tell me what to do.
Well, that goes double for you.
This is double for you.
I got 2 of them too.
Let me take it out of my wallet right here. Boom. Oh man, my armpit itches. This is what was in it.
I got 2 words for you. Suck it.
I got 2 words for you. Fuck you.
Q.
It's a word.
Dave.
And then to
But
make,
no,
I'll
it is
make
a-
sure Naomi watches this part of it to make everybody cringe. I'll be like, do a little dabbing. So I say that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna fucking start dabbing all around the court if you can't fucking do what I ask you.
Do I get to sing now?
Please don't. Please don't. No, I don't give a shit about pleases.
Perfect timing in your response, because although that response wasn't directed at you,
Spot
Vinny,
on, spot on,
but
spot on.
it worked perfectly. Wrap us up, Dave.
If you're stuck with us, may someone, something have mercy on your soul. Or if you're in line for tickets on the internet machine, you're stuck in a queue.
Yeah, that was bad, Dave.
It's all right. Let's see.
Maybe I can find you some more articles to feed to you, Carlos, that I happen to stumble across from time to time. That is, if you've been using any of them. I have to admit, I haven't been watching the entire stream, but I can admit that I watch bits and pieces. But I've stumbled across some interesting ones, and I've sent to Carlos because Carlos uses those better than what we would as it pertains to topics.
This is true. And no, Dopey, I'm not. I don't want to. To the south of us, it's, I think, like 18 to 24 inches of snow, like near Ashland and Hayward, the UP and like that area. I don't know how much we're gonna get, but I know I've heard how was it? My mom had said like some oddball phrase that I've never heard. Like, life. I don't know if it's like life changing. Couldn't have been that. It was something life conditions, like life altering. I don't know, because I mean it's supposed to be just like wicked out. So I'm very happy with that.
So, Stu, next time, pay more attention to the weather, or the bad weather seems to follow you. Take it whichever way you want to.
I hope there's a tornado warning at National. I really do.
Wow.
That'd be fun.
And Baz, I'll answer for Benny. No, they're not Chihuahuas or Dachshunds.
No, like what? The husky and some others. But yeah, thanks for everybody for watching, commenting, indulging in our fucking hatred of all things various and first world. But where else are you gonna have these types of podcasts and these types of interactions? So if somebody else out there fucking does this type of shit, fucking call their dumb asses out right away. Immediately. Nobody's fucking having these discussions with these special choice of nomenclature and verbiage. Nobody. And if they are, again, call them on the carpet. Do it. And remember, send money. We need money. We have to go to the Dallas Card Show. We have to go to the Culture Collision. We have to go to fucking Shenanimity and the Wheel God or whatever over there with Ed. He's going to be the new wheel guy.
Wheel guy.
What?
I said wheel guy. I was correcting you,
Wheel
but you
God,
corrected yourself.
Doesn't matter. Now Ed's going to be the wheel god.
Let's not give him any more of a
He needs
ammunition.
to have a complex. He needs to. White Plains, Burbank, Probstein, PWTC.
I'll pass on those two.
Alpaca, Calpac, whatever. Whatever it is. Just go wherever. And
wow, Dave.
using a callback. Rarely use it.
LMK.
Yeah. Sarah and Brett.
LMK.
There's another one too. Cody was another one out of that group.
Cody Carr.
There's one more. I don't remember who it was, but anyway, send us money so we can go everywhere on your dime, and then we'll put content out there for the content gods to praise.
Exactly, Ghost. See, Ghost has spoken.
I'll give you 10% off on a Zion case.
Just go to my eBay link.
Follow our links in the description box below.
I didn't approve that.
Neither did I, because it doesn't exist.
10%? No, we up our prices by 10%. What are you talking about? We need that extra cash, man. Come on.
But for your first $10 off on Whatnot, is that alt? Whatnot? Okay.
Word ladder, market mover, which
Yeah, it's in the description. Okay.
Just follow the links for the pyramid scheme. Okay.
I didn't approve that one either. Damn it, Ghost. Whoever nominated Ghost as the marketing guy? I mean, what were you thinking?
Doge did.
Yeah, he's like the Doge dog. And Dryden just looks at me like, "Can you shut him up, please? Please."
So, for Steve, for Vinny, I'm Dave. This has been the Instant Revolution podcast. Remember, collecting cards, wonderful hobby. The friendships you forge along the way allow you to say fuck you to a lot of people and you don't get pissed off. It's a wonderful thing. It's what it's really about. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.